if we try to go individually here, we have no prayer against this team.
Absolutely want to win this series in a big way.
Wall the save, turn shot, great stop by Patrick Waugh.
It was very sharp in game one.
No matter what it takes, we're going to win this game.
The Canadiens have set a record.
After they lost their first two games to Quebec, the negative atmosphere, the negative vibes around Montreal, there's no way anybody would have thought the Canadiens would win their next 9 straight.
Bellows to LeBeau, across ice, Duffy scores! Brisebois going to the net, LeBeau the trailer, scores!
I just hope the Montreal guys are with us here.
Welcome to Classic Series on the NHL Network. I'm Dan Pollard. Today we take a look back at the 1993 Wales Conference Final between the New York Islanders and the Montreal Canadiens. Both teams had finished third in their respective divisions during the season and were surprises to have reached the Final Four. The Islanders were coming off a shocking 7-game upset over the two-time defending champion and 93 President's Trophy winners, the Pittsburgh Penguins. David Volek scored in overtime in Game 7 to put the Islanders in the conference final for the first time since 1984. What made the outcome even more surprising was that the Islanders played the first 6 games of the series without their points leader, Pierre Turgeon. He had been injured by a vicious hit by Dale Hunter in the final game of the opening round. Ray Ferraro had scored 8 goals in the opening round against the Capitals and 4 more against the Pens. His 12 goals led the team. Glenn Healy was enjoying the best postseason of his career. He had won only 2 playoff games prior to '93, and already he had won 8 games, including 4 in overtime, through 2 rounds. The Montreal Canadiens were in the conference final after upsetting the Nordiques in 6 games and then sweeping the Sabres in 4. Montreal had won 8 in a row, 3 shy of the league record. Amazingly, 5 of them had come in overtime. The Canadiens had opened the playoffs with 2 losses and went into overtime in Game 3, but facing near certain elimination with a loss, the Habs won on home ice and then had won every game since. Patrick Waugh was showing Conn Smythe form. He had won the award back in 1986 when he led the Canadiens to the Cup, and already in Montreal, fans had visions of a similar ending this time around. He had beaten '87 Conn Smythe winner Ron Hextall in the opening round and 5-time Cup champ Grant Fuhr in the second round. It was obvious he was making a statement. Offensively, the Canadiens were being led by Kirk Muller and Vincent Damphousse. Muller had scored 7 goals, including 2 overtime winners in the postseason. He was on a 6-game goal-scoring streak. Damphousse, meanwhile, had 8 goals, including 5 in the previous round against the Buffalo Sabres. The Canadiens had been off for 8 days before the series began, a product of their sweep of the Buffalo Sabres. On the other hand, the Islanders were playing their second game in less than 48 hours. Having won Game 7 in Pittsburgh on Friday night, the series against the Canadiens began Sunday afternoon in Montreal. The big question was whether New York would be too fatigued both mentally and physically to beat the rested Habs.
These teams played 4 times during the regular season. The Canadiens won 3, and the Islanders won. Pierre Turgeon in the middle of your screen, sitting this one out after suiting up and playing very briefly in the big Game 7 win in Pittsburgh.
Cross ice to Kevin Haller. Here's Haller to the line. Nice move. Haller in. And Healy made the save short side. Curvers ahead to Ferraro. Here's Ray Ferraro. Left wing Brian Mullen. Shot the glove stop. Patrick Waugh looked sharp despite the layoff.
And a little physical play after the save as Ray Ferraro drove to the net. Patrick Waugh looked very sharp and very confident. Now Dr. Merz has got Denny Savard back in the lineup for this game. Well, there's Gilbert Dion, a controversial figure at various times this playoff year. A bad penalty in Game 1 took his team out of the game in the series opener against the Quebec Nordiques, claiming that he scored a goal, and many in the media claim he didn't score in overtime against the Buffalo Sabres.
Loiselle hits Haller. Dion behind the goal. There's Denny Savard. Pietro, but Dion scores!
Islanders couldn't get organized. Savard behind the net to Dion, a la Wayne Gretzky.
17,526 at the Forum. Damphousse in front, loose puck, Muller out of the net, Healy, net wide open, and Healy dove back and got a piece of it.
Kurt Muller beats Healy to the puck, takes a swing, And in comes Mullen, in comes Loiselle.
Leclerc behind the net. Malakoff poke-checking him. Charbonneau up with it. Back to Desjardins. Shot scores!
Desjardins, good low shot. Leclerc's there. Desjardins' shot would have gone wide.
He'll skate out with Charbonneau. Here's a 2-on-1 with Benoit Brunet. Charbonneau shot. Healy club stop. And he'll hang on.
Penalty coming with 16 seconds left in the Kevin Haller penalty. It's a cross-check on Oduite against King on the boards in the Montreal zone.
Islanders win the draw. Here's Malakoff shot. Taken up high on Patrick Roy. He's okay.
5-on-3, the one-time shot from the point. Look at Patrick Roy screened on it. That's why he goes down. And you can see it does hit that plastic throat protector just below his mask. And there's Ray Ferraro offering the screen. Goes by Ferraro and hits Roy in the throat.
Dom Foose up front. LeBeau behind the goal. Centers it. Dom Foose. Healy got a piece of that.
Big save, his biggest of the night to keep this one at 2-zip. He missed the pass out from the corner and it went to Dom Foose, so Healy slid across and made...
23 seconds left in the power play. They score. Bellows the shot.
And right from the face-off, losing the draw in your own end. Good puck movement. Look at Healy. Comes across, and he's got no chance.
Glenn Healy sitting out in this third period, but no reflection on his play.
Mark Fitzpatrick has played very well for the Islanders this year. He was a Bill Masterton winner.
Savard centers in front. DiPietro and Fitzpatrick had to be alert there with DiPietro cruising through the goal crease. Here's Ronan and Leclerc again. There's a shot. Scores! John Leclerc!
A standing O for the home team.
Now it's Leclerc's second goal of the game. And Ronan gets an assist. Here's Brunet in. Shoots and Fitzpatrick the save. Rebound. Brunet looks to center. Muller's side of the net. He's knocked down. And finally they hold it long enough. Leclerc from Ronan and J.J. Daigneault gets an assist as well on the goal at 12:06. And you could tell here early in the third it wouldn't take much. Pilon and Dion.
Okay, John, is this going to do anything for the Islanders?
Now here we go. Oh, and Wayne Bonney gets in. Oh.
First fight of the playoffs for the Canadiens.
I think this will be a positive effect for the Islanders because today they really haven't been involved in this game. And now, even though it's just only in the physical department, they are involved. Makota and Oduite are already in the penalty box, and now everybody else on the ice is the partner.
One question left in this opening game now. King works in, and his shot deflects high off the glass. Bullock behind the net. Bullock, Kasparaitis the shot high. Off the backboard, loose, Kasparaitis, while the save. Ferraro scores! And that question has been answered.
Now Patrick missed it by 67 seconds. And it's 4-1 Montreal.
They'll be celebrating here as the fans rise to their feet as the Canadiens win Game 1 of the Wales Conference Championship.
And the Canadiens congratulate Patrick Roy. He didn't make the big saves early when he had to, but the Canadiens really set the tone in the first period. They were skating, they forced the issue, and they were able to take advantage of a really emotionally drained New York team.
Well, I'll tell you, after they lost their first two games to Quebec, the negative atmosphere and the negative vibes around Montreal, there's no way anybody would have thought the Canadiens would win their next 9 straight, but that's what's happened, and they lead by 1 in this series.
The Islanders were indeed flat in a 4-1 loss in Game 1. They managed only 11 shots through the opening 2 periods of play as the Canadiens built an insurmountable 3-0 lead. Montreal had now won 9 in a row, just 2 shy of the record 11 straight playoff wins. Ahead on the show in Game 2, it was the Islanders who took the early lead. But Montreal's late third period goal forced overtime, and from there, the goalies would take over and duel all the way into double overtime.
Millions of people will go to sleep lying on...
St. Louis to Stamkos shoots and scores! And with that goal, Bob's Blue Liners take the lead over Happy Go Pucky.
Bob took a little heat picking him 4th overall in the Sweet Mix League draft, but Stamkos is making him look like a genius.
And with that St. Louis assist, the 5 holes and the Lamplighters are now tied at 4.
NHL stars play for more than just their teams. They play for you. Compete against your friends in Yahoo Sports and NHL.com Hockey 10 with free live scoring, auction drafts, and new stat categories for hits and block shots. Sign up today at yahoo.com/fantasyhockey.
Player behind the net. Malakoff poke-checking him. Garboneau up with it. Back to Desjardins. Shot scores! John LeClair has his first playoff goal.
The Islanders had given up the first goal 6 times in their 7-game playoff series with the Pittsburgh Penguins, but against the offensively minded Pens, they had been able to rally. However, Game 1 against the Canadiens taught them a valuable lesson. Montreal's tight checking style made playing from behind nearly impossible. The Isles got some good news before Game 2, however. Pierre Turgeon and Pat Flatley returned to the Isles lineup, and it was hoped that they could provide an emotional lift as well as some offensive skill to help solve the red-hot Patrick Waugh.
His first playoff game was April 9th, 1986, when the Canadiens beat Boston here 3-1. The 20-year-old rookie played all 20 games that year as the Canadiens won the Cup, and he won the Conn Smythe. Montreal with 9 straight victories.
Gilbert Dion opened the scoring in Game 1. Here's LeBeau. Stéphane LeBeau shot. It's behind Healy. He'll cover up. Close call there, but Glenn Healy makes the save on Stéphane LeBeau. Steve Thomas in the corner. Uwe Krupp shot and a deflection right on goal.
That was very sharp in Game 1 and sharp here again at the start of Game 2.
Down the left side, Muller tripped up as he went to the net. Savard spin, shot, Healy saved, LeClair rebound, Healy down, and somehow the puck stayed out. Behind King, Curvers goes deep into the corner. Thomas shot, head save, rebound, Turgeon, great stop by Patrick Waugh. He's lost his goal stick. Malakoff in front, they score! Pierre Turgeon.
And what a super pass by Malakoff to find Turgeon through the crowd. And it's 1-0 New York.
Watch this save. Here's one. Gets the leg on it. Look at Patrick Waugh. Struggled to get in position. There's 2. And Pierre Turgeon. Watch Turgeon get in position here for the tip-in. Again, wave for the puck.
Well, gentlemen, we're looking at a different New York Islanders team here tonight. We talked about their lack of time to rest up after the Penguins from Friday night to Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern. They've had 48 hours plus now to get ready for this one, Game 2.
Now the Canadiens start back. 3 of them. Domfus, Keane, and LeBeau. Here's LeBeau shot and a glove stop by Healy. Brunet to Muller. Canadiens getting some pressure on. Bellows from the side. Scores! In retreat again as the penalty about to expire. Here's a breakaway for LeBeau, in alone, scores!
Hey, look at Steve Thomas, and he has to put some numbers on the board for this Islander team.
Both teams again change as Thomas tries to skate out. Here's Thomas, shot, scores! Steve Thomas has tied it for the Islanders. So we're tied with under 10 minutes to go in the third period. Tied at 2 as Steve Thomas gets his 7th of the year. Here's Savard's shot. Big stop, Healy. 77 skates to center. Right side, Delgarno. In the middle, Turgeon. Right in on goal. They score. Islanders lead. Daigneault keeps it in at the point. There's a shot right on. Healy down. Savard batting at it. Here's a shot. They score. Paul DiPietro.
Look at the confusion in front of Glenn Healy. And DiPietro just spins around and heads it towards the net.
Standing over Paul DiPietro, and it's tied with 5:10 left.
Benoit hoved over the line. He stopped and Dion blew a tire, but DiPietro follows up. Shot right on. Healy's not sure, but he's got it. Glenn Healy with 25 saves.
Now you're into overtime, and you never know how long it's going to last.
Here Turgeon starts the other way. Delgarno hits to the net. Out in front. Delgarno down. Patrick Waugh was down too. And flatly, left wing Kerber, shot right on, rebound, loose, Ferraro rolled it wide. Oh, that was close. Go to line, the back pass to Keane. Here's Keane, shot, Healy had trouble with that. Here comes Muller. Kirk Muller, nice move, shot high.
And watch Glenn Healy. Does Healy get a piece of that? The crossbar gets a piece of that.
Boy, that would have been one for the highlight reels. But it's still 3-3, 4:37 left, overtime.
Domfus to Muller. 30 seconds left. Here's Domfus and Bellows. Healy with the glove stop and a beauty.
Save of the game.
We are going to double overtime. The Canadiens and the Islanders, game 2 of this Wales Conference Championship Final. 3-3.
Kasparaitis keeps it in, and Brisebois clears it away to Domfus. Here come the Canadiens, 3-on-2. Brisebois going to the net. LeBeau, the trailer, scores!
We talked about John LeClair getting his first 2 playoff goals in Game 1. Stéphane LeBeau gets his first 2 playoff goals tonight in an elongated Game 2. And the Canadiens have won 10 straight games and lead the Wales Conference Championship thanks to LeBeau's goal at 6:21 of the second overtime period. Domfus and Brisebois the assists. The Canadiens lead 2-0.
With the victory, Montreal had won their 6th overtime game, equaling the record set by the New York Islanders back in 1980. The Habs and Patrick Waugh looked invincible. They had won 10 straight overall and were one shy of the record. Ahead on the show, the scene now shifts to Long Island as the Montreal Canadiens go for a record 11th straight win. But as has been the case 6 times previous during the streak, the outcome will be decided in overtime.
A day you went from dude to
Kasparaitis keeps it in, and Brisebois clears it away to Domfus. Here come the Canadiens, 3-on-2. Brisebois going to the net. LeBeau, the trailer, scores!
Many wondered if the Islanders would be able to bounce back from the devastating loss in Game 2. They had shown heart during their playoff run, overcoming Turgeon's injury, rallying from behind in each of their previous 2 series, but they had never been down 2 games, and they had not yet faced a team as hot as the Montreal Canadiens. Montreal had now won 10 straight playoff games, one shy of the record. The Habs were so confident they seemed to be playing for overtime, and Game 3 in Long Island was no exception.
Tonight, gentlemen, the New York Islanders are playing game number 100 this season, regular season and playoff. For the Canadiens, it's number 97.
Demers and Al Arbour in the opening moments of this game as they try to get the right matchups. Here's Pierre Turgeon, wrist shot right on. Patrick Waugh's first save of the game comes a minute 25 in of the Stanley Cup playoffs so far. Steve Thomas to Ferraro, and he is belted by Mike Keane. Leclair checked and turned back by Kerber. Muller is hit by Volek. And so some good hitting by either side in the opening 8 minutes of this game. Canadiens will be called for icing. Still no score, 8:04 gone. Al Arbour says that Pierre Turgeon was about 85% in Game 2. Here's Delgarno deep in the zone. Turgeon shot, scores! Looked 100% on that play.
David Volek starts it with a nice little pass to Brad Delgarno. The Canadiens' coverage isn't bad, but they don't take Turgeon's stick. Look at Kevin Haller. He's right there, but he doesn't have Turgeon's stick.
And now, Kirk Muller starts back for Montreal. Muller held up at the line, but Bellows moving in, sweeping in, Healy down! And they'll cover up. John lost his balance. Now he's up with the puck. Back to the point. Malikov shot. Blocked nicely in front. That was Kirk Muller with the block.
Right off the ankle, and you can see he's in pain. Now watch Kirk Muller. Does a good job, gets down, but look at the shot. That one is the last one that missed Muller. Now here's a better look, and watch Muller come out on Malikov. Right there, gets the legs down, but then turns them.
Bellows still out there. DiPietro, the other Canadian forward. Here he comes in front, and it was off a skate, and Bellows was drilled into the net by Brad Delgarno. Fitzgerald again against DiPietro. Canadians get control. Desjardins shot, glove save, Healy. Burt. And the fans salute the Islander goaltender. Brunet to Vincent Damphousse. At the line, here's Damphousse against Kasparaitis. Has him tied up. Thomas behind his goal. Centered in front, DiPietro. Picks up Healy. Rebound. Scores!
And look at the chances here for the Montreal Canadiens. Glenn Healy with two outstanding saves, and the Islanders, who have been so good, turnover. There's one stop by Healy. There's the second. And watch Vinny Damphousse on the backhand, up and over Glenn Healy.
Yeah, we talked the other night about his backhand and how many goals he scores on the backhand. And he ties this game with 5:14 left in regulation to end the Wild scramble. And up high, that's the only place he could have put it to score. The Islanders win this game tonight. You just know they're going to think back to many of those chances that they squandered in overtime in Montreal 2 nights ago.
Flatley still out. Breakaway pass. Here's Turgeon. Oh, and he shot high. Turgeon in alone in the opening minute 15 of overtime.
King to Ferraro.
Here's Ray Ferraro. The shot right on. Rebound.
11 and a half minutes gone in overtime. That was the third New York shot here in the extra period. Montreal also with 3. So they are even all the way down the line.
An Islander knocked down, and here come the Canadiens. Brunet cross ice. Carbonneau shot. Scores! Guy Carbonneau has won it for Montreal.
And what a heartbreaker for Al Arbor. The crowds in this building haven't seen this happen in overtime since 1979. Did you say, Chris?
1980.
1980.
Guy Carbonneau. Now look, count the red shirts here. It's right in front of the bench.
Oh, there's 6 right there, within talking distance of each other. But is that really too many men? It's the line change.
And so the Canadiens have set a record. Their 7th overtime win in one playoff year breaks the record held by the Islanders in 1980. And Guy Carbonneau is a hero for the second time this year in the playoffs.
And I'll tell you, those of us who follow around with the Montreal Canadiens just run out of words this playoff year to describe how this team does it, John. And you saw them here tonight. The third period's winding down. They're losing, just like it was 2 nights ago in Montreal. And here it is again. Guy Carbonneau with his 2nd overtime winner in this playoff year.
The amazing roll continues for the Canadiens. They've won 11 straight games, haven't lost now in a month as Guy Carbonneau and company celebrate a 2-1 Montreal win.
I had a big goal, I don't know, first series, second series I think against Buffalo, and it was the first goal of the playoff. I had a tough year because of injuries and, with the new styles and young guys coming in, you never know if your spot is going to be there when you come back. So, it was a frustrating year for me, but I think in the playoff I talked with Jacques Demers. He told me that, I feel a lot better now, and he told me I was going to play a little bit more, and, the confidence level is right there. Everybody's playing really well, and, I can't say more about Ed Ronan, John Leclerc, and Benoit Brunet when he plays on our line.
We had a 3-on-2, and I was a bit tired. I stopped. The defense came on me. I saw Carbo all alone on the other side. I gave it to him, and he took a great shot to beat Healy. In overtime, what we're trying to do is just trying to shoot at the net. In the first 3 periods, I think even if we didn't have too many shots, we were trying to go right through him and pick the corners. And Healy was really sharp tonight. In overtime, we're just trying to hit the net, and he made the save, but went right through him.
There's 4 games to be won, and we only won 3, and we got to be ready for the next game. And like we did against Buffalo, we were ready for that 4th game, and we got to do the same thing on Saturday.
The Canadiens had tied a playoff record with their 11th straight win, but that was not the amazing part. It was how they were doing it. Patrick Roy and the Canadiens set a record with their 7th overtime win, and what made it even more incredible is that they had won 7 straight overtime games. Patrick Roy made the entire team feel so confident in overtime, they seemed to be playing to force the extra period. Ahead on the show, up 3-0, Montreal looks to sweep the Islanders and set another record. But New York had shown heart all postseason, and they would not go down without giving the Habs a fight.
If Crosby likes the lamp in Pittsburgh, will you cheer in Denver? If Luongo stands on his head in Vancouver, will you stand on your feet in Los Angeles? No matter where you live, you'll never miss an amazing moment with NHL Center Ice. Following your favorite teams and players has never been easier. With up to 40 out-of-market games a week, many in HD. NHL Center Ice. The game lives where you do. Call now or go to NHL.com for details of how you can save with a special early bird offer.
Judge for yourself. Did they or didn't they have too many men on the ice just before Guy Carbonneau's winning goal in overtime? Well, Al Arbour certainly had his thoughts on the whole affair after Thursday night's game.
Well, I think it's very apparent in the last couple of games here that there are 2 sets of rules. There's a rule regarding the Montreal Canadiens and there's a rule regarding everybody else.
A day later, after thinking about it, Arbour watched his players going through their paces and decided to treat the whole affair in a casual and facetious way.
I made a statement last night and that's done with, and we're just moving on. Coaches might have a touch of Alzheimer's disease. I don't recall exactly my words.
Jacques Demers met the press corps in Uniondale and said that he wasn't about to stir the pot.
You know what? There was too many men on the ice. But there was also, in the first period, too many men on the ice for the Islanders. And we were at the bench. We weren't in the play. But Al Arbour is a man I have too much respect for to judge. Whatever Al Arbour has to say, that's him. And I'm not going to judge Al Arbour.
C'est pas normal. Moi, je trouve que c'est un...
Savard sees the whole incident as a diversion. He says that Arbour is trying to regroup his players, but he finds that his comments are a strange way of going about it. The controversy aside, it's time to give credit where credit is due. Patrick Roy has won 11 straight games. He has a .934 save percentage and a 1.92 goals against average. There's little question that he's the biggest reason why the Canadiens are on the verge of sweeping the Islanders. In fact, Jacques Demers calls Patrick Roy Montreal's only bona fide superstar, with, of course, apologies to Kirk Muller. He says that the Islanders have a superstar in Pierre Turgeon, they have Patrick Roy, and that his play has gone up accordingly during the playoffs.
You know, every goaltender looked great when he got a support from his teammates like I had right now. I got the big goals, defensemen are playing very well, and helps a lot.
In 1975, the Islanders were in a similar situation against the Pittsburgh Penguins, down 3 games, but they did come back, and Arbour is hoping that the magic is still there.
You know, this is not an impossible task. A lot of people say this is impossible. I don't see anything impossible about it. You go through the course of the season and you win 4 games, no big deal. Why should it be a big deal in the playoffs? Montreal's won 11. They can go and lose 4 now.
Michael Whalen, TSN in Uniondale, New York.
Arbour's words aside, the odds of a comeback were indeed long. Montreal seemed poised to sweep the Islanders and in the process set a record with their 12th straight win in a row. But the Islanders had not been swept in a 7-game series in franchise history and were not about to start now.
Here come the Islanders. There's a capacity crowd here tonight, and we'll let the crowd bring them on here for just a minute. Everybody on their feet at the Coliseum.
Darius Kasparaitis hitting the line, drops it off, then Wahoo shot right on, and Patrick Roy covers up. 3 minutes in to Game 4. Patrick with the goals against average in this series of 1.37.
Still no score, 9:23 into this one. Jacques Demers has been here before. This is the second time that he has been one victory away from coaching his team into the Stanley Cup final. He didn't make it the previous time, 1986.
Flatley side of the net, Ferraro in front. Great Ferraro, ball down. What a stop. Rebound, Flatley doesn't get through.
Ferraro does does a good job. He waits, and look at what. He gets a glove up at the last minute to knock that one down.
Savard, his pass, and it's broken up. Dion gets another chance. Gilbert Dion. Savard flipped it. Oh, what a stop by Healy. As Denny Savard was looking for his first goal of these Stanley Cup playoffs. Scored first period in Game 4 of the Wales Conference Championship Series. With 4:25 to go, here's David Bullock, shot right on. And Patrick Roy covers that. Here's Hogue. Benoit Hogue centers, Thomas shot. Patrick Roy to save it, another. And he'll cover up as Ferraro is flattened at the side of the net. Stops he has made tonight. 2 more right there.
And you can see even he's shaking his head to save 3 bounces here. 1 tip, 2 tips, and then to Patrick Roy. Jeff Norton has the rebound, and Roy is so quick getting across.
Desjardins skating out to center ice for Montreal. Clears it in. There's Keane, first man to it. And DiPietro going to the net. John Booth looks for a loose puck. Shot. DiPietro scores! Paul DiPietro with his first goal on the road in these playoffs. And the Canadiens lead 1-0. Here's Thomas on the left wing. His shot blocked. Going in deep. Thomas behind the goal. Coming out in front. The shot scores! Short side. Steve Thomas. Now Flatley sending away Ferraro. Here's Ray Ferraro taking a look back in front. They score! Caught Flatley. There's the turnover just inside the blue line as DiPietro tried to shoot it in. The rush up ice, the pass by Ferraro, the redirection by Flatley. New York leads. Halfway through this third period, Montreal has to do something right now they have not done, obviously, in the games here. Score some goals. 2 with an overtime game in Game 3, and just 1 here tonight, almost 10 minutes into the third period. Fitzgerald hit the line. Tom Fitzgerald takes a look. Cross ice. Uwe Krupp moving in. Here's Krupp backhand. Patrick Roy rebound. They score. David Bullock. Feels a little different about young Mr. Bullock right now after some recent events. Here's a giveaway. Muller in and a high shot handled by Healy. Check out how it happened here. It's a stick up by Lyle Odeline.
Odeline stick cut Ferraro across the side of the head. As you can see, there's not much contact until after Odeline spins around. And right there you can see the stick right in the back of the head.
With 2 minutes and 49 seconds left, the Islanders have a 2-goal lead on the Canadiens, whose scoring has dried up. Tom Fitzgerald working in. Brisebois the save. Kasparaitis backhand, and that's kept out. Here's Benoit Hogue, empty net, scores! The streak's over, and the Islanders are still alive.
Obviously, they don't want to quit, and they got a lot of pride over there, and they want to keep going. And they played that way tonight. They you gotta give them credit. They outplayed us. Just in the little things, and it seemed like they're just a little more desperate than we were tonight.
We talked to yesterday and today not to be complacent, not to be happy with the streak, and I think contrary, we went on the ice and thought that not that's going to be easy, but that just by showing up we're going to be okay. You have to give them credit too, though. They really worked hard. They had their back to the walls and they played well. But on our side, we just didn't think and got outworked and outmuscled in the corners.
The little things, they have a saying: take care of the little things, the big things will take care of itself. But I think overall it was a great team effort, and we had a meeting yesterday and said if we try to go individually here, we have no prayer against this team. We have to all stick together and play well collectively, and everybody does his job, and we need guys to come through for us.
We crashed the net tonight, and that was our main focus, is to get the puck on the wall and move it right to the net. And I think if you see the goals we had, Pat Flatley's goal, Dave Volk's goal, there was somebody crashing the net all the time, and I think that's the way to get to Patrick Roy.
I think we felt a little relaxed and we were more prepared. Back against the wall. We've done it against Pittsburgh, and the guys say it can't happen right now. We got to keep going, take shift by shift, and play hard. And I think we control most of the game, and our RD jump up offensively and creates opening in the slot, and we finally put it past Patrick Roy.
Absolutely, we want to win this series in a big way, and there isn't one guy in this dressing room that doesn't think we can. We got a bunch of guys who are
are focused with a bunch of guys with big hearts, and it's fun to see.
Now, crashing the net, was that part of the game plan tonight? Obviously, that's how the goals all seem to occur.
Well, absolutely. That was one of our main concerns, is getting to the net and getting shots on net, going for rebounds, and trying to cause some havoc in front for Patrick.
The Islanders' 3-goal outburst in the third period ended any chance of the New Yorkers losing in overtime for a third straight game. The Isles staved off elimination, but we're now heading back to the historic Montreal Forum, needing a victory to keep their dreams alive. Ahead on the show, still one win away from making their first trip to the Stanley Cup Final in 4 years. The Canadiens come out flying in front of a hometown crowd and look to rebound from their first loss since the opening round.
The Islanders stayed alive Saturday night in Uniondale by playing a solid hockey game and in the process putting an end to the Canadiens' winning streak at 11, a record that is shared by both the Chicago Blackhawks and the Pittsburgh Penguins. In a way, said the Canadiens, the demise of the streak is a blessing in disguise.
I think so. There would have been a lot of pressure going into the finals with it, but right now we just have to regroup. We're still in control of the series, and there's no way we want to go back to the island.
The only time I talked about the streak was yesterday or the day before, and the meeting said, hey boys, you know, we haven't won a thing yet. The Blackhawks won 11 straight last year. Everybody saw Michael Jordan and Blackhawks double parade in Chicago, and they lost 4 straight, so we haven't won a thing yet.
One big reason that the Islanders were so effective in Game 4 of this series is that defenseman Uwe Krupp was an imposing presence in the game. The 6'6" native of Cologne, West Germany, was freewheeling it in the offensive zone, and he made things happen. It was undoubtedly his best game ever in 40 playoff appearances.
I think it was the most rewarding. You play good games sometimes, but things just don't work out at the end, as good as you wanted to. But last game we won. I was able to put a good game on, and so it was a good game for me.
He's like a big, quiet man out there. He's very effective in our own zone, and like last night you saw him, he can be very good offensively also. He carried the puck very well. He does seem to do everything real well in a very quiet fashion.
He's awesome. I never realized how good he was. He's very, very good. I mean, he's a dominating defenseman, and you can't take him out of the way. He's so big. He's not overly physical. I'm talking about not cheap shots. He never gives you a cheap shot. He plays a real clean game. He dominates both offense and defense. He's been a very strong player for them.
The Bears also singled out Darius Kasparaitis for his play in Game 4. In fact, he says stopping those 2 defensemen will be the key strategy for his club as they approach Game 5. Michael Whalen, TSN in Montreal.
The Islanders had won Game 4 on the strength of 3 unanswered third-period goals, reminding everyone they would not go down without a fight. So, for the first time in more than a month, the Canadiens had to rebound after a loss. They could take comfort, however, from knowing the game was at home. Montreal was a perfect 7-0 at the Forum in the postseason. Knowing they were just a win away from the Cup final, they came out flying.
Demers, again in a position that we talked about the other night. 1 win away from advancing to the Stanley Cup Finals for the first time in his lengthy coaching.
I think the Islanders expect the Canadiens to come out as fast as they have. Canadiens right on those defensemen of the Islanders. Muller against the boards, pushed away by Krupp. Norton collides with Leclerc. Keane to Muller, backhand, they score! Good play there by King. Beyond bodies Belong. Savard looking for it against Kasparaitis. Carbono! And Healy with the stop. And we finally get a whistle. A great flurry here early in the first period. And Kirk Muller has the Canadiens on top. Keane to the line. Kirk Muller on the move. Kasparaitis has him lined up. King got Kasparaitis down. Chance for Keane. Scores!
Keane, who doesn't score many goals, but when he does, they're usually done with dexterity.
And he gets his second. The two principals in the controversial incident of Game 4 are head-to-head right now. Bellows to LeBeau. Across ice, Damphousse scores!
Look at the Islanders. 3 of them caught. Creates the opening. And nice pass, LeBeau to Damphousse. And look at this shot.
Early goal in the second period, 1:58. They scored in 58 seconds, and here's a loose puck, Ferraro. Patrick Roy the save, and another on Flatley, and he'll cover up.
Well, it's not been an Islanders night.
Now look at Patrick Roy again. First save, finds the puck, gets to his feet, and comes across to make the second save. And Patrick Roy is on top of his game again tonight.
Benoit Brunet to Savard. Carbonneau stopped by Healy. The face-off, Canadiens get it again. Bellows back to J.J. Daniel, walking in, shot scores!
Gets his first goal since May of '89. And watch this shot. Now does it hit Vinny Damphousse? Damphousse is right there. And Daniel had so much time to walk in, aim the shot, and beat Glenn Healy.
We saw in that replay somebody was doing a good job of playing interference in front of him to prevent an Islander from going out to cover the point. Look out.
Here's Bellows, scores! The goals come 9 seconds apart. First Daniel, then Bellows. And the Canadiens are on their way, it would appear, to the Stanley Cup final.
Here's the turnover. Damphousse forechecking, and look at Bellows' shot.
So Damphousse, the lone assist on the 5th Canadiens goal. Here's King in. Patrick Roy in, rebound. Turgeon rolled it wide. Islanders center it through the crease. Thomas scores. Well, the Islanders don't quit. Steve Thomas comes back, and they finally get on the board. Muller, first man to it. Fitzgerald got his stick on it. Pilon, it comes out in front. Muller, Healy down on the line, and it stayed out. Muller again shoots. That hit Kasparaitis in the back. Hit us off his skate to his stick. Here's Tom Pervers moving up, dropped for McInnes in front. Hogue scores! Benoit Hogue, and it's 5-2. The Montreal Canadiens are headed to the Stanley Cup final for the 35th time in their history.
Canadiens have had a strange playoff. They were down and out in the minds of so many people when the season ended, and then, Chris, when they lost those first 2 games in Quebec City, since then they have lost but once.
A couple of Canadians who shall be nameless for the moment guaranteed me before the start of the game that they were going to win tonight. So did my cab driver, for that matter, on the way over, so take that for what it's worth. But it was clear right from the beginning that this team did not want to go back to the island.
The guys came out with a lot of determination, heart and soul, and we got 2 goals. I think we had the feeling, even if we didn't score those 2 goals early on, that we were going to win this game no matter what it took. And that's what we talked about before the game. No matter what it takes, we're going to win this game. And I'm proud of everyone in here. And the guys just came out great, came out strong, and you could feel it in the dressing room. There's no way we were going to come out soft tonight.
Well, everybody came true tonight. We played the real strong, probably the strongest game of the series. We got us scared in New York. Nobody wanted to go back there. And I think it was good that we got that scare and lost the game, because we were kind of taking shortcuts and not playing our best games, and we kept winning. And to lose that game, I think everybody regrouped. There was no doubt that we just wanted to finish tonight, and everybody was ready. You could feel it this morning in the practice. Everybody was thinking about what they have to do tonight, and I think today we had 20 leaders on the ice, and everybody really play well.
9th year in the league, and I've never gotten this far. It's we certainly haven't hit our goal yet. We got one more series to go, but it feels great to be this far anyway. It's a great bunch of guys, and it's a great feeling right now. So we'll enjoy it tonight, and then we got to go back to work in a day or two. So we'll have fun tonight.
My thoughts is you never have it until you get that last win. I went there 2 years ago, and we had a chance. We got it down to the number 2, and we didn't get any farther with Minnesota, and I want to go that much further this year. I realize it's going to be tough. We got 2 great clubs that one of them are possibly going to have to play, and I just hope the Montreal guys are with us here.
Montreal played, I think, a really good series against us. They didn't really let us get going. As far as, being out of the picture now, as Al said when he came into the dressing room, this is just the beginning for this team. I think we learned some lessons throughout this run.
And so now there are 3 for the moment as the Canadiens await the winners of the LA-Toronto series. No matter who it is that wins that one, it'll all start here on Tuesday, June the 1st. Michael Whalen, TSN in Montreal.
So the Canadiens win 5-2 to advance to the Stanley Cup Final, where they would face the LA Kings. Meanwhile, the Islanders' unlikely playoff run had ended. New York would not win another playoff game the rest of the decade. Still ahead on the show, 5 games produced some memorable goals, some bone-crunching hits, and lots of great saves. We take a look back at the best of them in our plays of the series.
It's a night you'll never forget. The 2010 MTV Video Music Awards. Live tomorrow at 9, only on MTV Channel 331.
Polaris is having a factory authorized clearance, which means you can get financing as low as 3.99% and up to $1,200 in rebates on vehicles like the Ranger Razor or the Sportsman XP or the Ranger XP. That's financing as low as 3.99% and up to $1,200 in rebates. Hey, it's all about the deal. That's all you need to know, right? All deal, no hype. The Polaris factory authorized clearance. Going on now.
Here's Ray Ferraro, left wing, Brian Mullen. Shot in the glove stop. Here's Denny Savard. Pietro and Boutillion scores! Here's a 2-on-1 with Benoit Brunet. Carbonneau shot, Healy glove stop, and he'll hang on. Lebeau behind the goal. Centers it, boost. Healy got a piece of that. Rivers goes deep into the corner. Thomas shot, and save, rebound. Turgeon, great stop by Patrick Roy. As Steve Thomas gets his 7th of the year. Here's Samar's shot, big stop, Healy. 30 seconds left. Here's Don Boos and Bellows. Healy with the glove stop and a beauty. Steve Thomas to Ferrero, and he is belted by Mike Dean.
Now here's Denny Savard on Benoit. Oh, great there at center right.
Muller is hit by Mullen. Thomas behind his goal. Centered in front, Di Pietro. Big stop, Healy. Rebound. Score! Watley side of the net. Ferraro in front. Great Ferraro. Ball down. What a stop. John gets another chance. Chauverdion. Savard flipped it. Oh, what a stop by Healy. Benoit holds centers. Thomas shot. Patrick Roy to save it, another. Here's Ray Ferraro. Taking a look back in front. They score. Cotton Flatley. King got Kasparaitis down. Chance for Keane. Scores. Benoit Brunet to Savard. Carbonneau. Stopped by Healy. Here's a loose puck. Ferraro. Patrick Roy to save it, another on Flatley.
Some numbers from the series. Vincent Danfus leading everyone in the series with 6 points. The Canadiens did get balanced scoring, however, getting goals from 10 different players. Ray Ferraro, who came into the series with 12 goals in the playoffs, was held to just 1 against the Canadiens. Meanwhile, the trio of Turgeon, Thomas, and Volek had 7 of the Isles, 11 goals in the series. As far as goaltending is concerned, Patrick Roy got the better of Glenn Healy, stopping 137 of 147 shots, including 18 shots he stopped in overtime. Roy also extended his overtime unbeaten streak to 7 games. The Canadiens would ultimately extend that streak to an amazing 10 straight overtime wins, beating the Kings 3 times in extra periods in the Cup final, en route to a 5-game series win. For his overtime heroics, Patrick Roy was named the Conn Smythe winner for the 2nd time in his career. As for the Montreal Canadiens, this would be their 23rd Stanley Cup victory, but the last ever one at the historic Montreal Forum. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again next time.